This week, we honor a cross-country runner from Norwood, Norfolk, who's had an outstanding season. His ability on the course earning him the Watertown Savings Bank 7 News North Country Athlete of the Week award. Dominic Fiacco of Norwood, Norfolk receives this week's honor. This talented cross-country runner is undefeated in Section 10 league meets so far this season. He finished first in the North Country Invitational and placed second in the Section 7 Invitational and the Beaver River Invitational. He's been a varsity performer since the 8th grade. A member of the National Honor Society, his goal is to attend West Point, an outstanding student athlete.
Originally, I started with soccer and I played the mainstream sports for my whole life, but then my brother and I were really good friends with the Bradleys, and we all just kind of joined cross country together to try it out. We all just felt like running would be a fun thing to try, and ever since 7th grade, we've stayed strong. We've gone all the way through, and we've just been running every single year. The biggest thing to running is summer training. Summer is very crucial to having a good season, because you want to get a lot of miles over the summer and you want to build up your base, your mileage, and that's what contributes to success during the regular season. I think the biggest thing is having a strong team, a strong coach, and strong training, because the summer is what builds the base, but then Mr. Fetter helps us hone in our skills for the season and build the speed that we need to be better. And our team has been very successful over the past few years, and that friendly competition kind of pushes you quite a bit and makes you better than other teams around the area and other runners.
First contact I had with Dominic was actually in middle school. I was his middle school math teacher, and during that time period I just saw he kind of set himself out apart from all the other students. I could see he was pretty driven academically, and that's continued on. But also he, like I said, just seemed like kind of attitude and, just really well-mannered that he became interested in running. So I asked him, I said, why don't you try cross country in the fall? And next thing I know, he came out and he brought with him his older brother, actually. It started beforehand, but with them, they brought like 2 other brothers, the Bradley brothers. So we had 2 Fiaccos and 2 Bradleys for the longest time on the team. And Dominic, although he was not the oldest in the but he was already showing signs of being competitive, being fast, got to varsity level in 8th grade.
Congratulations to Dominic Fiacco of Norwood, Norfolk, the Watertown Savings Bank 7 News North Country Athlete of the Week.